Greetings, guys. It's Fancy, the award winning publisher and editor in chief of Swagger Magazine. And I went live yesterday in our private Facebook group, and I shared that my word for the year was consistency. Last year, my word was intentional, and I think I did an excellent job. Really being intentional about everything that I did. And so this year, my word is going to be consistency. And with that being said, I need to be consistent with making something that I'm going live, that I'm telling you all about, all the things that Swagger Magazine is doing, that I am being more transparent, that I am showing up for not only my business, but also myself and my goals. So, yeah, and I say I did, even though I said I didn't set any New Year's resolutions, which I didn't. But I will say, I guess if you kind of think about it, that could kind of be a lot. So yeah, but here we are. I just want more out of this year than what I had in 2024. So I was thinking about just recently I made 40, and I shared a post this morning on my personal Facebook page just talking about, I'm not gonna say the changes, well, talking about the mindset shift that I experienced after turning 40, because I felt like, to me it was just like walking into another phase or another era, because it wasn't like a subtle shift. These were, to me, some really major shifts, and I was really surprised that they even came about. I don't even totally know how they came about, but just thinking about things and reflecting, and I was like, you know what, I don't think, I now think this, or I no longer believe so and so, so and so. So one of the things that I thought that I could share about is talking about having the right mindset. Because for me, mindset is like something, I guess you say, practicing a positive mindset is something that I work on consistently, because I guess, I don't know. I'm kind of a spiritual person. I'm very much a spiritual person. There's no kind of about that. And with that being said, I understand the power of my thoughts as well as the power of my words. And so I try to be really mindful of how I am utilizing both. I try to be mindful of what I'm listening to and what can possibly influence either one of those things. And so, with that being said, I want to talk about mindset shifts today. Well, having the right mindset. We already talked about mindset shifts, and just having the right mindset in entrepreneurship, because I know that entrepreneurship can get to be really discouraging. You put your heart and soul into your products and your business and or your services, and you just know that this is going to be the, I guess you almost want to say, end all be all, or be all end all, whatever. And then oftentimes we're disappointed, and I'm not saying that every time we're disappointed, but we do experience disappointment quite a bit, because we're constantly creating, we're constantly putting new offers and things along the lines of those sort of things out there. And I'm not going to say hoping for people to like them, because really I feel like, as entrepreneurs, we tend to look at the problem first, and then we create whatever it is that we feel like would help solve that solution. And with that being said, then a lot of the times, we have what the people need, they just don't realize that they need it, or either they may not have the funds to be able to purchase it. It might be out of their financial range. So in the end, when all of that occurs, then we're the ones that's kind of like, oh, well, maybe the product wasn't good enough, or maybe I should have done this differently, or I'm not ever going to be good at this, or I'm not ever going to, make $1,000 off my services or products, or whatever the case may be. Like, we'll start having those negative thoughts, and then we begin to attract more negative things into our lives, and it just kind of takes you down a rabbit hole. And I know about this firsthand because I used to be deep off in the rabbit holes, just like one little thing, and then I'm just going. And I would think of all these negative things, and I was attracting all this negativity to me. And I kept wondering, like, okay, God, what am I doing wrong? Because it wasn't making sense to me. I'm like, I know that I'm a good person. Why am I having so many difficulties or hardships and challenges, And I realized it was because, for one, I was not only just being negative, but then, well, having these negative thoughts, but I was also putting them out into the universe. They were coming back to me. I was putting out my energy into being negative. I was talking about it, like complaining to other people about whatever the issue may have been. And all of this, as opposed to actually, perhaps looking at the situation and seeing what I could learn from it. And I think that is like the biggest, like that's number one right there. Having a growth mindset. In order to grow, we're constantly learning, right? And so you have to have a growth mindset in order to, when you have a growth mindset, then you're able to see situations differently. You look more so for the lesson in whatever the situation is, as opposed to whatever the output may have been that you did not care for. You're more focused on, like, how can I take this and make me better, or make me a better business owner, make me a better person, make me a better mom, make me a better sister or spouse, or whatever the case may be. You have to really look, I guess, almost for the silver lining in things a lot of the times. And sometimes that can get to be frustrating. Sometimes you don't want to look for the silver lining. You just want to know, like, God, why me? But oftentimes we still end up getting that silver lining somewhere else along the way. We still figure out, we'll discover, okay, I had to experience this because of blah blah blah, whatever the case may be. So I feel like having a growth mindset should be embraced. You should constantly be working to learn new things, especially as a business owner, because there's like so much out there, so much innovation, so many. You might have been, and I had to, even again, this is just something I had to I guess you say, come to grips with, because like I would get into using platforms and services and then totally forget that there are other options out there. Some of those options might even be cheaper, whereas those services are steadily increasing their pricing. These new companies might be coming through with something even better, and it might be cheaper. But I wasn't open to working with others providers, because I was so used to the providers that I already had. And then I realized, like, hey, I could be saving some money here, and this is a better service. I just recently experienced something like that, like when we changed our platform for distribution of the digital magazine. I had been with the company for years, and then their prices just started being like astronomical. They were like, oh, we're gonna have just this plan, and then we're gonna have a plan that's 3 times the price of that plan, and you can buy either this one or that one. It was crazy, but in the end I ended up finding somebody else, and I'm thankful. It was actually Dr. Tina of the CTR Media Network that suggested another platform for us to use. And so I learned that platform, and then we switched there, and I learned the platform. But I had to have a growth mindset in order to make that adjustment, because I could have been like, nah, I just want to stick with these people. We might not have even been able to publish the issue, because that's just how expensive their services had gotten to be. So that's just part of it. Having a growth mindset or a shift in perspective can help you stay resilient, especially when things aren't going the way you were expecting for them to go. So that is, I guess you say, tip number one: embrace a growth mindset. Be willing to grow, be willing to change. And I feel like in order to be our higher selves, we're always going to be growing. We're always going to be changing our thoughts. And just, it may not always be like a physical appearance or the thing, but again, we're talking about mindset here. So other people may not be able to see it, but for yourself. And I feel like as you begin to live through those changes, then other people would begin to see them as well, though they're not exactly physical things, but they can detect the change in you as an individual. Then also another tip for having a right mindset is practicing self-care. Like I can't stress self-care enough. As a Black educator, self-care is like, I know chat gpt love using the word essential, but self-care self-care is so essential, guys. Like just I think I shared a little bit with you all about my whole experience of turning 40, and I feel like, and it was a bad experience, but then I had a good experience. But it was like, I guess the time leading up to me turning 40 was really crazy and chaotic, and I kind of felt like I had like a breakdown, and it was really due to overwhelm, being overworked at my job, just trying to connect with my students since we were just starting the school year, trying to adapt to all the new policies and procedures that we had in place, trying to keep the business afloat. We ended up having some of my team members had personal things going on in their lives, and without them, I was kind of like, I don't really know how I'm going to be able to juggle all of this. So all of that stuff just really had me stressed out a few months ago, and I was not thinking twice about self-care. The only thing I was thinking about was like, okay, I got this done, now what else can I do? Okay, I got this done, now what else can I do? As opposed to thinking about like, how am I taking the time to step back and take care of myself? Because my weekends had just, they no longer belong to me. Even though I don't work at my day job on the weekends, it was almost as if I was just you know, I was still at work. I was still working because I had so much to get done. And then I had the magazine work on top of that. We lost our online editor this summer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, sometimes like, well, last summer. And so we hadn't replaced her, and I felt like we hadn't been busy enough to replace her. So I was trying to like do everything myself. So y'all, when I said I just feel like I just shut down. And again, it was that self-care. So I've really become much more mindful of how I practice self-care. I take little breaks all throughout the day, even when I'm at work. I just make certain that I take a moment. It doesn't have to be anything long, but just some type of time to myself that is really about me, to check in and be introspective about how I'm feeling, um, and how I'm performing. And I think that as an entrepreneur, again, we have to be mindful of that, because a lot of the times we get so caught up in the rat race, the comparison and seeing what everybody else is doing. And we know we already got a lot on our plate, but Susie over here doing the most, and you trying to compare or compete with her. Like, no, make certain that you are taking time for yourself. So and also, just speaking about self-care makes me think about too, we do have our new caption packs. Though these are like pre-made captions for you all to share. You can use them on Instagram or Facebook, wherever you're going to be sharing photos for the most part, because they're not really long. um and they're also kind of fun and chic. So, what am I trying to say? If you are looking for, because of course, if you think about self care, what I'm thinking about, the reason why this came to mind, if you're thinking about self care and then using automation, like automating our systems as much as we possibly can, so that we're not having to do everything manually. We're not having to commit to these time frames, because everything can be scheduled out. So again, you can have something like a social media scheduler. You could use I'm trying to think, like task manager platforms. But also, as so that leads me to the fact that we have our caption packs that you can use, so that you don't have to worry about what it is that you're going to post. You just copy the caption and you have your photos or whatever to go along with it, something cute and chic, and then you should be good to go. So those are on the website. Jamil has the link here. Well, this is one of them. This is the one for Valentine's Day, so you wouldn't start that one until February. But this one here is actually the Glow Up Caption Pack, and that is for this month of January. It has 30 captions in it. I did not realize it was 31 days in January, and I was like, you know what? Because I used to be a perfectionist. I'm a recovering perfectionist. I was like, I am not going to redo this whole product. It has been designed. They just, one day they won't have a caption. I don't know what to tell you, but you didn't pay for the extra day, so hey, there it is. There you go. Boom. So you can check out the caption packs. I think they are beautiful. Because I really put a lot into the design of them. Designing digital products can be a little difficult. So, and then also I wanted something that like fit our style. So they're really cute. Um, so if you have the caption packs, you're basically you can use those with a social media scheduler, and then you have that automated, and you got a whole month's worth of captions. So that then you can spend more time practicing self-care, right? So that is step 2 for starting with the right mindset, practice self-care and mental wellness. And then number 3, my third step would be to develop a routine for consistency and motivation. Like I mentioned earlier about how I'm very mindful of what I'm listening to. I'm very mindful of how I use my thoughts and words. And I say that because um, I feel like if you start allowing the wrong elements in, that's going to decrease your motivation. That's going to be combating your whole purpose of trying to develop the right mindset, in particular for this year of 2025. What is it to thrive in 2025? So if we're trying to thrive in 2025, we cannot allow those negative elements to control us or influence us, so we have to stay on top of our game. We have to pivot when we catch ourselves possibly going down those rabbit holes that I'm talking about, and you have to be consistent while doing that. You have to be mindful. You have to do check-ins with yourself. Like I was talking to a friend this morning, and he was like, I woke up, blah blah, but he did a self check-in, and I commended him for that, because I feel like oftentimes, especially Black men, I don't know if they do that as much as Black women might be doing it, just taking the time to check in with themselves and see how are they really feeling, being honest with themselves about how they are really performing. So with that being said, if you develop that, if you stay consistent with that, it's going to become a routine, right? And then that's going to help you with your motivation, because you're going to be focused on the right things, as well as you can do things like set goals to help increase your motivation, or have daily tasks, to go along with those goals, so that you can make certain that you are gradually working to achieve them. Um, and what else? I mean, like you can set reminders on your phone, those little things. And then even with the reminders, you can also set some affirmations for reminders. You can talk about, the person that you like to be, or the person that you are becoming, and just speak love and life and positivity into yourself. So just to recap, those 3 tips that I shared for starting with the right mindset is to embrace a growth mindset. We talked about, being this continuous student, always learning new things, and yeah, always learning new things. And then we talked about practicing self-care, tip number 2, and mental wellness. And I also shared how, leveraging automation can help us practice that self-care and mental wellness, as well as how Swagger Magazine's caption packs can also help you free up more time to spend with yourself or do whatever it is that you enjoy doing. And then tip number 3 is to develop a routine for consistency and motivation. And I shared some different ways that you all could get that motivation, and how it all ties in together with the mindset. So I don't know if anyone has any questions for me, but um, I would love to hear some feedback. How do you stay motivated? Like, what tips or tricks or strategies are you utilizing? And how do you stay consistent? Um, maybe also using your calendar, because if you're scheduling things ahead of time, that also helps you, I don't know. I just feel like using the calendar, because I say use the calendar because I'm thinking about how I could use my calendar right now. My calendar right now to also assist me with some things. Like, I might need to actually start scheduling these lives so that I can stay consistent with them. And for those who are checking in late, consistent is my word for this year, or consistency. So that's why I keep that's why I keep saying it. And that is also why I am here this year. Thank you so much, Don. I appreciate it, because I was like, okay, I'm gonna go live, but I didn't know exactly what I was gonna go live and talk about. So I am glad that I found a topic that resonates with some of you all, and I hope that for those of you who are watching the replay, that you also find value in this content, and that you're willing to share a little bit again about what motivates you, how do you stay consistent, how do you stay motivated, just basically how do you stay in the right mindset. I feel like if we're sharing these tips, other people can look at them, and then they might be able to find something that works for them, or whatever the case may be. Let me see. Dunn said, I have to set reminders on my calendar for everything. Yeah, I used to be really big on my calendar. I have not, since this school year has started, I really haven't been using it as much as I should be. But I had to, like, excuse me, I had to get a new, well, I had to get a new scheduler for meetings. And so I think that's also why. And then I really haven't been taking too many meetings, but I'm like, yeah, but for 2025, I'm expecting to be taking a lot of meetings. So I need to have my scheduler and my calendar together. Those are my goals. I want to be booked and busy. And but I do think I'm going to change how I do my consultations, because we have free consultations, and to be honest, I just feel like people be just getting me on the line just the, I don't know, girl, I don't know. But yeah, Don, thank you for tuning in. So I'm going to go ahead on and wrap up. Should you all have any questions? Oh, wait, let me tell y'all what else. While we're talking about consistency and having a growth mindset, and just we were talking about automation. Another product of Swagger Magazines is this Swagger subscription that we are offering, that is $199 a month right now. And basically with that, you get social media marketing. You get so many swaggeronline.com website features. You get what's going on features. You get access to new products and products, like digital products, and also you become a member of our visibility vault for Black businesswomen. So that's our private Facebook group, and you all are welcome to join the group, but it is a private group. You do have to answer questions. If you don't answer the questions, I don't allow you in, because I need to know who you are and why you're here, just because not everybody has good intentions, just being honest. But you can check out that subscription package at the link that is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And I'm also going to drop it in the comments for you guys. And again, it is $199 a month. You also get you're gonna get a total of 6 full page ads, because we're planning to release 6 issues this year. And so with that being said, you also, you get those ads. And then if once you make month 3, wait, I'm not dropping this in the comments, I'm dropping this in the banners. Once you pay for your 3rd month, we're actually going to allow you a feature in the digital issue. So you'll also have that opportunity as well. So it's a really good package. And that's $200 a month. You all know, like, a full page ad is already by itself $200 a month. So you're really getting a steal when you get all of these other items that come along with the package as well. So do check that out. Do check out our caption packs, and everything looks really pretty. So and y'all know I'm really big on aesthetics. So I'm like, let me know. I love some feedback. If you have purchased anything like the caption packs or the beginning or end of the year PR checklist, I would love some feedback. You all can always reach us at this email that I'm about to drop in the comments as well, which is the advertise@swagger.net email. So you all can always contact us there and let us know about feedback. If there are any products that you would like to see us come out with. Now, where are y'all other people coming from? I was just about to let go, but you all can catch the replay. But I do appreciate you all hopping on. I really appreciate it. Definitely tune into the replay. Let me know your thoughts on things. And I asked some questions at the end, like how do you stay motivated? How do you practice a growth mindset? And things along the lines of that. So I'm about to go work out and enjoy the rest of my evening. Peace and blessings, and y'all have a great evening.